What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. What's going on, Keith?
What up, man? What up? Back like we never left.
Like we never left. It's been a while. For those who don't know, we've kind of been on a bit of a hiatus. I mean, life's been happening, so we've taken a break, but we still managed to get some material out there. If you haven't checked it out already, or if you have and want to pass the word along, please be sure to check out the women's wrestling episode. That was a pretty awesome episode, man. I was excited to talk about that.
Yeah, we had fun with that one. We really touched on a lot of the women that's ripping it up right now. And, I think we mentioned all the good ones. We even gave Tony Storm her props.
Oh, I
You
love.
know, we really touched on a lot of
We also touched on somebody that I normally don't talk about, but I'm, you know, not gonna get off of that. That's not why we here.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Uh, so let's
Anyway,
not get into that one.
well, man, hey, it's finally here. WrestleMania weekend. I am excited. I think I'm more excited about Friday night than I am Sunday night, and that's why we doing this episode. This is our NXT Takeover New York preview show. Man, I've been telling you all day how I'm just ecstatic about this. 5 matches, all of them championship matches, all of them great matchups. Things I probably have wanted to see. I just don't have the words. I feel like I say this every time there's a takeover. This could be the best one I've ever seen. It has the potential to be that. I'm so excited to talk about this.
I tell you what, this card right here, it looks damn good to me. I'm looking at it. I'm seeing some big, huge matches that can really be 5-star matches.
No doubt. Yeah, I mean, oh, let's do this. First and foremost, for those of you who don't know, I know you had to tell me at one point takeovers on a Friday this year. How do you feel about that? I know it's my new. It doesn't. It could be on a Wednesday. I'd still watch it. That's irrelevant. But how do you feel about that? Takeovers usually always the day before, the pay per view, and
Right. Well, I already know why they're doing it. They're doing it because of the whole, well, the people going to all the conventions don't come in till Saturday. So it's a lot of people that miss the Hall of Fame. Well, damn it, people don't want to sit there for 6 hours with a bunch of people having long-winded speeches. So of course I will
right,
miss Friday too, just so I don't have to go to the damn Hall of Fame. But they say they want to get more traffic into the city for all the festivities and stuff like that. I don't know. I guess it's a good plan, but I really don't. No, I don't. I mean, then there's something just saying that it's something that has to do with WWE's deal with Fox, the channel, because they're gonna have SmackDown in the coming months. So
right.
it's just different factors, but I mean, either way, to me, NXT Takeover, just like every year, is gonna be the main event of the weekend. It's gonna be the best thing of the weekend.
Had you thought about the fact that they might have done this so that you don't? Because every year that every time they do it before the main pay per view, it takes away some of the luster and the thunder from the main roster the next night because it's like everybody's still on the high from what they seen the night before, and you come in here and it's kind of like, this is clunky. It's
Yeah,
clunky. But hell, last night was great. They put on dud pay per views compared to them. Maybe give them a day of separation and then come back in, and it's like, okay, like this ain't so bad. I think this could be another case of, hey, we gotta kind of downplay the developmental roster here because we gotta get the shine, especially it being the show of shows, the great biggest sports entertainment event of the in the profession, hey, we can't have them saying it was a dud, because I know last year I watched Takeover the night before Mania. I was into it, couldn't miss a minute of it. I'm jumping up and down, just tearing stuff up. The next
yeah,
I'm watching 4.5 hours of Mania, and I'm kind of like, uh, and
right.
it's not the same thing. So I kind of wonder if that has a lot to do with it.
You know what's the problem with Mania? most of the time you forget what match is coming next. Yeah, that's
Right.
how long it is. You forget
Right.
what matches they have on the card. Like I could be watching the match. Oh, okay, it's about to end. One more match is about to go.
Right.
Then you'll have one that pops up like last year. I completely forgot about the damn Ronda Rousey match because that's how
Yeah.
long it was.
Yeah.
I was like,
Exactly.
oh shit, Ronda Rousey is here.
But if they want if you want a platform or a template on how to book a big pay-per-view, look no further than this card. 5 matches, 5 championship matches,
Yep,
all of them great.
straight to the
And
point.
exactly. And the first match, well, you know what? I won't even say what order they're in. Supposedly, I mean, the order we're going to talk about is supposedly the order it's in. But the first match that I wanted to talk about is going to be Pete Dunne and Walter for the NXT UK title. Now, if that opens the show, I I have to believe you starting on a high note. It's that's a hell of a
Yeah.
way to start. You know, the only thing we've been talking about Walter almost since NXT UK Takeover Blackpool, or whatever,
Yeah.
and we knew this was coming. I'm just disappointed that they would do this at NXT Takeover New York. Why not do another UK Takeover? It would have gotten over better to me overseas.
Well, I thought they were supposed to be doing one in Phoenix on their own, like last month or something after NXT did theirs in Phoenix, but I
Right.
guess they scrapped it.
Well, to me, Walter's so big because he wrestles everywhere in Europe. You'd have got a huge reaction from the crowd if they had that match there. And I don't understand that. I'm pretty sure they're still gonna get the same reaction from the crowd in New York because it's Takeover. But that particular feud and program hasn't been playing out in the states. It's been playing out overseas. We don't have the same investiture. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You
No, that
know,
makes a lot of
that's the
sense.
part that I'm disappointed. But at the same time, I'm excited because we've known this was coming since that. Since
Since
that,
Walter debuted.
right? Exactly. And the beautiful thing about it is they've hinted around it, but they never, ever, ever touched. Matter of fact, they've only had face to face encounters. You
Yeah.
know, they had a
Stare
face to
downs
face,
and everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
they stare downs and everything, and that is it. And Walter, they put him in the ring. He's been dominant in almost every match he's been in, or whatever, no matter who it was. Pete Dunne has done his thing. They've done such a good job with this that the anticipation is there. Like I'm so excited. Like this might be the most unpredictable match they have on this card because you don't know. They haven't touched yet. You don't know what to really expect other than what you've seen. And this is really, if you be honest about it, it's kind of got a David versus Goliath feel because you have a 6'9", 6'10", however big he is, 300-pound
Oh
Walter.
no, the damn dude is built like JBL but worse.
Right.
But he's still so good.
Yeah, he's very good. And then you got a technician in Pete Dunne. I mean,
Yes.
from
And
from looking at it, you like, well, hell, Walter's probably gonna kill Pete Dunne, but I just don't see that
I,
happening.
I that didn't even enter my mind. If that makes sense, it doesn't even enter my mind because it's like I don't see no David and Goliath thing because I see how Pete Dunne does little things to wear his opponent down.
Yeah,
It just makes it very entertaining and makes it like it's gonna be a dog fight. Like you're not gonna be able to beat this dude, easily. Even though I feel like Walter is gonna go over and he's gonna win the title because Pete Dunne's had it like what 2 years, just about.
well, but see, okay, I was gonna throw that in there. It's been almost 700 days at this point. Do you really take the damn thing off of him now, or and I'm gonna be honest, if he wins this, then it's like, okay, there's nobody that can take this away from him. I feel like there will be an aura of invincibility there. It's like no matter who you bring out here, if he beat this guy, he can beat anybody.
Well, I agree with that, and I definitely feel like at the same time, who could beat that record? Who could touch that? Even if he loses tomorrow, or I mean Friday, even if he loses Friday, But who can touch his record? It's gonna take a hell of a competitor to beat Pete Dunne's record because they set it so high. That's almost 2 years. Who does that anymore?
Yeah, yeah, you don't see that, and you sure don't see a slow burn like this. Like this has been, I want to say maybe what 3 or more months in the making.
Yeah.
So, without these guys touching, it's just been kind of hinted at and hinted around. Okay, so I gotta ask, who wins this?
Walter. I feel like they're gonna
I
give it to Walter.
I think so. But the beautiful thing about this, I think even if Pete Dunne loses, there are a couple things here. This has the ability to be one of those matches where no matter who comes out on top, both guys get made. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah,
It's
they're
gonna
not
make
gonna look bad at
Walter,
all.
yeah, that nobody's gonna look bad. So it makes Walter. It shows him to be a dominant guy. I have to think he wouldn't, even if he wins it, he's not NXT UK champion for long before he gets a call up at that point. He has to.
Right.
I feel like he has to. I refuse to believe they brought him in here only to wrestle in the UK circuit. He has to be a major call up at some point after that. But I gotta ask you, if he done loses, is he a main roster addition after takeover? Then I mean, or do he just kind of stays where he's at? I gotta feel like if they take it off of him, that gives him the ability to move up.
Yeah. This the only thing I'm scared about him moving up because I'm kind of hearing the same thing with Johnny Gargano, which I hope isn't true. That they're trying to move the smaller guys to 205 live, and I think we've talked about this before on past
Yeah,
episodes.
yeah, no,
Them taking a small guy and put him in 205 live. Why the hell would you do that? You might as well just leave him on NXT, let
yeah,
them build
yeah,
NXT up
definitely.
more. So I really don't want him to go to the main roster because I know they don't know what to do with him. Well, Vince McMahon doesn't know what to do with him. Triple H, I think he will take good care of him, but
Right.
Vince McMahon, no.
Man, I don't know. I feel like Pete Dunne is there. He's one of those seven guys we always talk about that no matter where you put them, they can do work. I think we're in agreement. Walter wins, but then what does that do for Pete Dunne? Because it feels like to a certain degree, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is just me, but when I watch him wrestle these guys in NXT UK, except for Walter, I feel like everyone else is just a tier below how good he is. He is literally the best guy that they have.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, I now again I like a lot of other guys, James Devlin, Travis Banks, those guys, the Mustache Mountain, those guys are good. But it's kind of like y'all are good, Pete Dunne's great. It's not the
Yeah,
same thing, And if he wins this, who's left? I don't feel like there will be any more he can do. If he beats Walter and you put him in the next feud or next program with, say, I don't know, let's just say Devlin, I would be like, there's no way Devlin can beat Pete Dunne. He just beat Walter, and if even if he beats him, it'll probably be close and something that you don't see coming. But I still would be of the mindset, hey, nobody can beat this guy at this point. He's done
right,
it all. That's it.
right. I mean, what can you do against that? It's like either way, you're gonna, you're gonna, it's gonna be a complete knockdown, drag out fight. I mean, I do expect some chain wrestling a little bit on Pete Dunne's part because he is a trophy technician.
But so is Walter. For a big guy, he can wrestle.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
If you haven't seen his wrestling overseas in Europe before NXT UK, I encourage you to go watch him. Again, I watched the match he did with Will Ospreay, and I've seen some other bits and pieces of his work here and there and stuff before he became a NXT UK roster wrestler. And the dude he's not just a big body. He's a legitimate wrestler. He has some match skill and technical ability to him. It's just he's a monster at his size. You can't be that big and not be a monster, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah. He's a
I,
super
I
heavyweight.
think we both agree. I think this is Walter's time. They've been grooming him for this moment. They've been hitting around it. It's slow burn. I gotta give it to Walter. The only thing that really interests me is how does the match go and how does it end? But I don't think anybody comes out of this a loser.
No, no, absolutely not. It's a step in the right direction for both guys.
Um, the next match, that we gonna talk about. And I'm gonna be honest, and I hate to say it like this. I kind of just really want to be like, glaze past it because it's a travesty to even be talking about it in this way. But it's the War Raiders and Aleister Black and Ricochet for the NXT Tag Titles. First off,
Well,
let's get the obvious out of the way.
yeah,
How
yeah.
did they become a goddamn tag team? Why is this okay?
It's not okay. It's not fucking okay. Okay, I thought they was just doing like a couple week type
Right.
thing, just to promote the whole Dusty Rhodes Classic thing. But now they got these son of a bitches doing live events as a tag team, doing TV as a tag team. Now they're doing NXT as a tag team. I'm so pissed off.
Yeah, I did NXT to me doesn't make many missteps. This feels like one. You had a lot of good tag teams in Mustache Mountain and Oni Lurch and or I can't never remember how to say goddamn names, but Lorch and you know who I'm talking about. The two guys, the
Yeah,
ones that
yeah.
I can't remember the goddamn names, but they were on NXT tonight. I'm sorry.
Only
Uh,
Lorcan and
Danny or whatever. I can't
Danny
remember. It's
Burchill or
always
something like
a
that.
tongue tie for me. Yeah, it's always a tongue tie for me. And when I'm watching them, I'm like, oh yeah, I know who they are. When I'm not watching them, you had the Street Profits. I really thought they were gonna be the ones we'd be talking about in this
Yeah, me
position.
too.
You know, they didn't. I didn't understand that. I didn't even understand Ciampa and Gargano being a tag team. This feels like a misstep. You know, Undisputed
Absolutely.
Era. You had so many other tag teams. Why do we think that this is all right? Aleister Black just fought for the NXT title the last takeover. He's in a tag team now.
Right.
Ricochet tore the house down with Gargano, and he was just a North American champion the last takeover. He's in a tag team. They don't make many mistakes. This feels like one of them.
Yeah, I really don't think they knew what they were doing with this, and I think they just felt like, oh well, let's put them together. Two of our hottest guys. Let's just put them together in a tag team, and let's see what happens. Maybe
This
we'll
don't
shoot
make
another
it
video.
doesn't make sense. I can see it in I can see a tag team situation against other top guys, like just one of those main event matches on a weekly show, but not at a pay per view.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah,
And at the same time, the War Raiders, to me, I haven't seen much of them since they won the titles. They seem like they've had an underwhelming reign. Like there hasn't been any. Now I'm not gonna lie, if you didn't watch NXT tonight, the I thought it was a pretty awesome segment they had where they came out and they very like literally squashed two straight tag teams in like 10 minutes.
yeah, I saw that. I saw
Yeah,
that.
that was awesome. Now, but other than that, they haven't really done much.
No, they haven't. I don't want to see Ricochet and Aleister Black in the damn tag.
No, I
Yeah,
don't.
I mean, come on, man.
I don't either. But I mean, okay. So who do you have winning? Because I can't see Aleister Black and Ricochet becoming the NXT Tag Team Champions, but I can't see the War Raiders losing simply because I feel like no, I'm sorry, Black and Ricochet are gonna be called up after this.
Yeah, I, and see that's another thing because they're working them overtime because they have them like on a main roster schedule,
Yeah,
but they still doing NXT shit.
and you got to remember, and we'll talk about this in a future episode. They're also in a fatal four-way tag match for the tag team titles on SmackDown. You're just doing too much, and I feel like they're gonna make them stale by overusing them.
Yeah, because
I don't
people are used to
understand.
seeing them every week now, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
They're on
literally.
Raw, they're on SmackDown, they do live events, they're on TNA.
I can't see, and then I feel like it's gonna devalue them a little bit. Not saying that the War Raiders aren't a good team, but if Aleister Black and Ricochet lose to the War Raiders, and these are two top guys, don't you think that kind of takes them down a peg?
I feel like it does because they just lost pay per view, wasn't it?
You mean like as far as the previous takeover?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Aleister Black lost and Ricochet lost. Although Ricochet probably did the match of the year with Gargano. I mean, he still lost. You know.
Well, yeah, they lost at that takeover. Then they just had that I think that fatal four-way tag match with Rude and Gable and
Right.
yeah, for the Raw tag titles. Even then, it was just like they're not gonna go over, but why do you even put them in these matches? So like
Right.
you screw 'em over.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't understand this one, and I can't see the War Raiders not winning because if they give them to Ricochet and Aleister Black, then what? It's like, so are they
Yeah.
not going to be called up? You know, like it's confusing. I think they have painted themselves into a corner with this. I don't like it. And okay, if the War Raiders win, more importantly, what's next for the tag division? Because clearly, again, you had multiple teams you could have put in this position. You didn't have to use the people you're using.
Right.
Street Profits should have been in this match to me. I
Yes,
think they
that's
were
what I
the
say.
team.
That's what I say too. I mean, it looks like they may be giving them another chance, but the War Raiders haven't had anybody to feud with, and that's what makes the match really.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, but like I say, it almost pains me to say. I kind of just want to move past that. I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not. It's not gonna be a bad match, but I don't like the format. I don't like the participants. This is the one that I'm just like, no, This kind of like got that Cassius Ono, Matt Riddle feel to it. I,
Yeah.
yeah, it was like
Because they surpassed that.
it,
You know,
yeah, I don't want to see it. It's not gonna be bad, but I don't want to see it. It's just like, But speaking of Matt Riddle, every takeover there's this one match, and it seems to always be around that middle of the card, right towards the end part, where you like, damn, that's the match of the night. I think you might have it in Matt Riddle and Velveteen Dream for the North American title.
I I am definitely anxious to see what this match unfolds to be because a lot of people see Matt Riddle as just the bro guy, but they don't know when that bell rings, he becomes ferocious.
He's an animal. He's
He's
an
a
animal.
fucking animal.
He'll
And
take.
that dude, man, the things he does in the ring for a guy who's not wearing any boots or shoes, it's just amazing. Because most people can't even move like that while they have some shoes on their feet. And Matt Riddle, he just great. Moves great. He'll catch you in the submission. I saw a little exchange him and Velveteen had during the whole seeing who will be the number one contender for
Yep.
Nipsey. I mean, for the title. I mean,
Yeah.
so you know, they had a good little back and forth thing there.
This
They
seems
had some
like
good spots.
it seems like a perfectly balanced feud, man. You got a lot of brashness and talking and stuff from Dream, and Matt Riddle's kind of okay. Hey, I'll show you when I get in. This match seems like it's gonna be perfectly balanced. You gonna have technical wrestling. You gonna have high spots. You gonna have near misses, near falls. I mean, you want to talk about a match that was made literally for perfection. This could be it. You getting a little bit of everything to me.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I agree. Yeah, I follow that up right behind you because I feel like with this match, if the other ones are not paying attention, this could be match of the night. If everything else doesn't, to me, this sets the tone. Because it's gonna be, yes, you're gonna have the Pete Dunne and Walter match if that goes on first.
Right.
Because we still don't know the order. This may go on first. I think either way, it's gonna set the tone in some kind of way. Because we know what Velveteen does at Takeover. We
Yeah,
know what
y'all
Matt Riddle can do.
seen Matt Riddle. You for that match against Cassius Ohno last takeover was phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
and he made a believer out of me at that takeover. But I've been waiting for this for a long time because at some point I said they're gonna have to stop using him as more of an undercard guy and start to push him into talks for, okay, hey, we might have a future NXT champion here. Okay, we might have a North American champion here. Okay, we might have a top guy here. At some point, you gotta. To me, he's almost like Adam Cole. He's so good. He's right there, and it's like, okay, they gotta push him up. You can't just keep not pushing him up. He's got huge potential. Huge potential.
Right.
I mean, this dude. He's good, and it seemed like no matter who you put him with, he's good. Hell, they put him with Drew Gulak, I think, or whatnot, on a NXT show, just a weekly show. They put on a clinic. He's wrestled Cassius Ohno, and he showed talent there. And I mean, this now he's getting a guy that can really perform, and I think this might be his coming out party. And I gotta be honest. He's too hot, too good, too everything right now. I think this is an upset. I'm gonna give him the match. I think he wins this.
Really?
Yes, sir. As good as Dream is at this stage, everybody. Remember we talked about this a while back. I don't know if you remember, and I don't know if it was on the show or while we were just talking. But I told you at some point they gotta start pushing talent up. You gotta make room for new guys. So with the crowning of a new NXT champion, whether that's Adam Cole or Gargano, then you got to start to say, okay, everybody else by default has to move up a tier.
Right.
You can't. Dream now has to fully enter the realm of NXT championship contender or champion in some capacity, which the North American division has to have guys move up. I think that will be a nice stepping stone. I call this an upset because I think that at some point in the very near future, Dream's probably going to be the NXT champion. Because I don't think they're going to call him up just yet.
I feel like in the very near future, yeah.
So I'm going to call this an upset. I think Matt Riddle wins this on an upset.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. To tell you the truth, if Matt Riddle won, I wouldn't call it even a damn, hit upset, really.
Well, I'm calling it an upset for the simple fact most people probably think this is going to be a great match, but Dream will pull it out. He just got it. I'm going to call this an upset, and I think it'll be in a way where it's legitimate. It's like, damn, this could have went either way, and it'll be accepted, and you might can get a little bit more out of it, but then you got to, again, everybody has to tear up now because I feel like after Mania, I think at least Aleister Black and Ricochet are gone. I think if Gargano and Cole, if depending on how that turns out, Johnny Gargano's gone. So you got to start finding guys to fill those spots. It's the same as when they call up other people all the time.
Right.
I think you got to start finding other people to fill those spots. The truth be told, I think Dream needs to be called up. But I don't know if they necessarily want to do that because he's still really, really young. He's only 23 years old.
Yeah.
But again, if he's not called up, he has to tear up. I think they're finally finna shuffle the deck and everybody's about to tear up. So I'm going to call this an upset. I think he wins this and nobody sees it coming. I'm calling it.
That makes sense because they do. I could probably see, after this whole thing happens, they're doing the whole Gargano versus Dream thing again.
Or I'll even say this: if Matt Riddle loses, he loses in a way to where he can be a contender for the NXT Championship right after. One of the two happens, but I think more than likely Matt Riddle wins the title. I think he wins the title in an upset. I call it an upset.
Yeah, this could really go either way. No, I'm not gonna lie and say it could go either way. I want the Dream to win. I want him to keep the. But this is the part I'm conflicted about. Who's he gonna go against? Who's gonna come at him for the North American title? It's not really a lot of people. So I mean,
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I think they'll give it to Matt Riddle. And put Dream in the NXT title picture.
Well, they got to start to bring some new guys up because for the last year, we've seen pretty much in some capacity the same people. Aleister Black, Adam Cole, Ricochet, uh, 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 Pete Dunne at some point, Tommaso Ciampa, Velveteen Dream. Then in the tag team division, Undisputed Era. Then the War Raiders came in. You've pretty much seen a mixture of the same guys and stuff. You haven't seen anything per se new. Matt Riddle came in toward the end of the or mid part of the year last year. Then you started getting some tag teams and stuff, but they need some new talent, and I think that's the way for them to get it. And they can bring some other guys along if they put the belt on someone else who isn't so over. Matt Riddle's over, but he's
right.
not. If you got to pick between him and Velveteen Dream is the biggest star right now. I think if you
Absolutely.
you start putting him with some guys and help them get made at the same time, and he makes himself. Then you got another crop of guys to carry out some strong takeovers and stuff with. So I'm calling this one for Matt Riddle. I think he wins this.
We definitely shall see. We definitely shall see. But I think that they will give it to Matt Riddle as well. To be honest.
And yeah, speaking of up and coming talent, I think a good showcase of that. You got a little bit of the old and the new in the next match. Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane, Io Shirai, and my girl Bianca Belair.
Yes.
For the women's NXT women's title. Couple things. I gotta whine a little bit. Why the fuck am I not getting Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler part 2? I didn't want a 4-way.
Yeah. I thought that the whole Io Shirai and Kairi Sane thing would be better suited to, if you want to put them in the tag team, leave them in the tag team so they can challenge Sasha and Bayley.
Well, I felt like they should have been left as a tag team, and if the women's tag team titles are interpromotional, as in like they can be defended or fought for anywhere, they should have took the Iconics out of the Fatal 4-Way and put them in. You'd have got a better match.
Yes.
I didn't understand it, and I'm gonna be honest with you. It's too soon for Io Shirai. She's not ready yet.
Not enough time. Not enough time.
She's not ready. Right. Kairi Sane is different. She'd improved herself for a 12-month period. But Io Shirai, I thought by them putting her with Kairi Sane, that would give her enough time to develop as a real baby face and get the rub from her or whatnot by being around her. They could possibly put on some great matches with the Boss and Hug that puts them in a that highlights Shirai and then send her back. Because Kairi Sane should be called up at some point too, if you ask me. That's me. But I mean, the feud between Baszler and Bianca Belair was so hot going into that last takeover. I'm like, okay, you don't have to do anything. They almost, to a certain degree, and I think you brought this up, did the Bret Hart Stone Cold finish where Bianca Belair passed out. So the feud is still hot. Nobody won or technically lost.
She's still undefeated, yeah.
Right. She passed out. And you could have kept that going. And it seemed like, to me, and this is just me, Shayna Baszler has elevated since she's gotten into the feud with Bianca Belair. She's become a better heel. She's talking better. She's getting heat better. She's wrestling better to me. She looks better. So I said, hey, run the match back one more time.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens. And
this
time,
get some closure.
Yeah, you could have put an end to it because, in my personal opinion, Shayna Baszler is ready to be on the main roster. She shouldn't be down there anymore. To me, she's so much better than everybody else that is not Bianca Belair. It's almost unfair. Bianca Belair is just naturally talented. She's still a little raw and need to hone herself in some ways, but she's so talented. She's almost there as far as being on par with Baszler. It's an evenly matched thing, you know.
Right.
But it should not be a four-way. I don't understand why. You know, I understood the match after Takeover where it was Shirai, Kairi Sane, and Bianca Belair versus the other four horsewomen of MMA. That six woman tag match. I understood it then, but now it's like, why are we still carrying on with this?
Right.
It should have just stopped right there. Should have been a one-on-one thing. This would have been so much better to me with a one-on-one match.
Yeah, I don't like when there's a lot going on. It's like clusterfuck stuff. Then people are outside selling for like what seems like an eternity. It's just like, come on now.
Well, but I don't think that they thought about how this is gonna be booked. Because check this out. Here's my thing. If Does this mean that Bianca Belair potentially goes heel? Because if you look at it, Shirai and Sane are supposed to be best friends and a tag team. They do all this hugging and laughing and smiling, and they do promos together. So I have a hard time believing they'll turn on each other in this match. But then the entire time this whole feud's been going on, you see Bianca Belair getting irritated with them because they're in her way. She only sees one person, and that's Baszler. Does that make sense? So I feel like they're gonna put it out there to where she'll do whatever she needs to do to be Shayna Baszler, even if that means stepping over shitting on Io Shirai or Kairi Sane. So is this a heel turn?
I don't think it's a heel turn. I do think they've been trying to work Bianca as a heel for the past couple weeks. But people like I think I said this on one of our old episodes. The whole heel and babyface thing is dying out because the fans
She's
are
a tweener.
deciding. Yeah, yeah. She drifts in between. You know, everybody loves her entrance. They dance to it. They love her style. They love her in the ring. They love her persona, and they love Io Shirai and Kairi Sane just the same. You know, so it's I don't think she could be a heel. You know, especially when everyone hates Shayna Shayna Baszler that much. Her and
Man,
her two horsewomen.
gotta give her credit right now. She's good. She's
She's doing
real.
good. Yeah, she's doing
She
good.
she she just stepped her game up. And I didn't used to like her at first, but I mean when you look at her, she's really good. And no matter who you putting her with right now, she's doing it. You know, I have to I feel like I have to say she's very good.
Absolutely,
You
absolutely.
know, so but I mean, I think I think this is the time that Bianca Belair finally wins it. I think she needs to because I think you need to send. Dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I see it on
you need
your
something
words.
fresh. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
well, not just that. I think Baszler needs to. She needs to move up. She clearly needs to move up. Obviously, you know, and we'll probably discuss this at a later date. SmackDown's in desperate need of some actual women talent now that they're look like they shuffling most of the better Charlotte and Becky over to Raw. They're gonna need somebody. I think that would be a
Uh,
nice little landing spot for her. And man, she she seems like she's more than capable.
Well, it seems like that something may be happening. I don't know about a superstar shakeup because they're unifying the women's championships, WrestleMania. So that throws
Yeah.
a wrench into it. It's just like, well, that's like a slap in the face to all the women who deserve a chance because it doesn't make sense to have all this talent in in one title for everybody. Like a lot of people gonna get fucked over.
Well, I kind of like that, but then it again, if it's done right, it'll work because you got so many interchangeable parts and so many ways the title can change hands and so many feuds. But if not done right, then yeah, and more than likely we're gonna be at the conclusion you're drawing. It ain't gonna work because you use two or three or four people, and that'll probably be it. But I mean, I do think that this time Bianca Belair wins this. I just I think it would have looked better for her. It would have looked better for Shayna Baszler. It would have looked better for the title if it had been won 1-on-1, not a
I
fatal 4-way.
I
Because what
definitely
if
agree.
she wins the damn thing by pinning Io Shirai? It
Yeah,
still leaves the door open for Shayna Baszler to say you've never beaten me. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah,
That's
and they
my
definitely can't leave it on that.
Yeah, that's my issue. You almost gonna have to set this up to where it finishes some kind of way. If Bianca Belair wins this, it's with her pinning Shayna Baszler. Because if not, it's gonna kind of be like a sour grapes thing. It's not a win-win here.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree.
So yeah, I'm a little disappointed in the fatal 4-way, but I still think nonetheless they're gonna put on a show. Now, Kyrie
Oh, it's
Sane
gonna be
very
some great
well.
spots.
Yeah, Kyrie Sane very well deserves to be in this conversation because she's had great matches with Shayna Baszler up till recently. It's been her and Shayna Baszler and no one else until Bianca Belair came in. So, I mean, yes, but even with her, I just feel like I've seen enough of her and Shayna Baszler to say, okay, uh, I'm, I've had enough. I think, yeah, I've had enough. Like, they,
Overdose.
yeah, well, they've done everything you can do. They've had great matches, but they go like 3 or 4 straight takeovers and an evolution.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was just like when is it gonna end?
So yeah, I mean, but I got Bianca Belair winning.
I agree with that. That's my pick, Bianca Belair, because it's time, and she like I was just saying earlier, the crowd loves her. She has an interactive, and then Triple H loves her too. They are really behind her, especially the way she's came along in the past couple years. She wasn't even a wrestling fan, but you're able to wrestle that good, and she didn't grow up on wrestling, but she understands the business that well. I mean, it's like nothing she can't do. Her athleticism, her strength. I was watching NXT today, and she pressed somebody and military pressed them, threw them out the ring. I'm like, yo, you
Yeah,
don't even
to me
man,
she's the next big thing. I think she you looking at a star in the making. And her swag, demeanor, attitude, whatever you want to call it, the promos she do, I mean, she owned to something. And it seems like she's tapped into it by just simply being herself. Like this
right?
seems like it's her, and she's creative or whatnot. I like it. I think this is the next big thing. And hopefully they don't fuck it up when they get it. But right now she looks like the next big thing. I think you put the belt on her. Let her run with it as long as Baszler has and see what she does. Because she still needs some time to develop. So you can't move her up right this second.
Right,
But
right.
put the belt on her and let her take all comers and see what happens.
Yeah, get something else going. But I feel like Bianca is gonna win because they've been putting more focus on the whole, back and forth between Kyrie and Io Shirai and Bianca. Shayna Baszler's just been coming in doing attacks and stuff.
Yeah, but that's why I still feel like you in for a heel turn because Shirai and Kairi Sane are legitimate. They're legitimate baby faces. There's no
Yeah.
in between there. They baby faces and nothing else. And it may be that to win this match, Bianca Belair does a very heelish thing or something to get where she because at the end of the day for her it's NXT Women's Title or bust. She don't care what it takes. If she got to step on them to get there, that's what she'll do. You may be about to see a turn.
Or even this. This is another scenario. Yes, see a third, maybe not from Bianca. Maybe from either Kyrie or Io, because they're best friends, and that's another thing they've been putting in the promo. the past couple weeks. Oh, we're best friends. We're best friends. We're gonna do it together. We understand when it's time to fight, we're gonna fight. So I think it may be coming from them.
I just think it's too soon for Io Shirai. I really do. I think it's too soon.
Well, in the world of WWE, they always get them early. That's one thing I know about them.
Yeah, I think it's too soon. I mean, you run the risk of damaging her in the long term because if she is underwhelming and not because she just phones it in, but if I think most people are going to be focused on Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, and Kairi Sane in that order, or whatever order you want to put it. But Io Shirai's kind of an afterthought, and I think that's going to hurt her in the long term because it's too soon. You don't know a lot about her other than recently she's been inserted or
Right.
whatnot. You, it's too soon. It's too because and maybe they grooming her for a future feud with Bianca Belair. That could be a possibility that we've not seen, but even still, I would have preferred for her to do maybe a run in a triple threat match. Does that
Right.
make
Right.
sense? You
No, it
know,
makes all the sense.
yeah, something or been ringside or something like that, like she did previously when the Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir came out. She ran out there and did the moonsault to kind of help Kairi Sane out or whatever the case may be. But it's too soon. I just think they rushed her along. I know
Absolutely.
you got so many other women or whatnot too that I think this should have been a hey, wait and let's see what happens after this, and then we'll see about inserting you maybe in a program in a one-on-one. I think that would have better helped her. And to be honest with you, you haven't really seen her wrestle one-on-one with a lot of people. She's been in a tag team environment.
Right. That's
So
true. They gotta establish their individuality.
yeah, now if you had said maybe Candice LeRae, I'd have said okay. I've seen Candice wrestle. I know what she can do. She might still be somewhat of an afterthought, but she's credible. Does that make sense? But I mean, it's too soon. They pushing her too fast, too quick. I don't know if that's gonna work.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm particular about fatal four ways. I mean, if the right people are in, then I'll see how it works. And
Be
then
amazing. Yeah, they can be amazing, but you
yeah,
gotta have that right balance of enemies, frenemies, friends. It's got to be a good balance there. And right now, it looks so one sided because Bianca Belair hates Shayna Baszler, but she also has some disdain for Io Shirai and Kairi Sane because she feels like they're raining on her parade, getting in her way. Shayna Baszler hates everybody, but then Io Shirai and Kairi Sane are best friends, and they
hmm
also feel like to a degree they're best friends with Bianca Belair for whatever reason. I remember after they won that match and how that went off. It's ah it you know what? Maybe this match, if it tells a good story, it makes sense at the end. If it's telling a great story while it's happening, and I'm like
right.
you, maybe there's a turn from Shirai or Kairi saying that we're not seeing in the books. But if it doesn't tell a good story, and you got two best friends trying to help each other in a fatal four way, that's gonna kind of turn me off. It
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually pretty much halfway hoping for Io Shirai and Kyrie Sane turn. I mean, because I look at little things, on the go home episodes, like the go home episode of NXT, and that's how you know that this is a real big thing because we spent more time on this match than any other one
Yeah,
so
than
far.
any match I've been saying. I'm like, dang, we still talking about this.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
because at the end when EO was holding up the NXT title just now after the whole little mini brawl, Kyrie was on the outside looking at her, and she had like a puzzled look. So that look kind of signals to me that it's going to be something between them come Friday in the
Now,
match.
if you want to see a way to do a triple threat or fatal four way with friends, look no further than that SummerSlam matchup between Charlotte, Becky, and Carmella.
Yeah.
They were friends when the match started, but then after the bell rung and confusion ensued, and I think Charlotte hit Becky with the natural selection and won the match. And it was kind of like it's a competition, and that kicked off a huge feud that's leading into the main event of WrestleMania.
Right.
If it's done like that and it's telling a story, I'm fine. Hey, I'm all for it. But if it's still huggy, huggy, kiss, kiss, and stuff, I'm kind of like you could have cut the other two out and gave me what I asked for. I think
Yeah.
everyone was looking for Baszler, Bianca Belair Part 2 and not a four-way.
Oh no, they did. They were not looking for a fatal four way. I mean, up until a couple weeks ago, I was for sure. I was like, oh, Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, unfinished business. Nothing wrong with
Right.
that. Let's do it. They shocked the hell out of me.
Yeah, I don't understand this. But okay, fine. I'll again tell me a story while you having the match, and I won't say another word about it. I'll be the first to
Right.
get on air. I'm sorry, I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. This actually turned out to be a great match. Next time I'll just shut the fuck up. But
Right. And we're not saying it's not going to be a good match. We're just saying, we would like to see more of a personal thing.
right, I would. I mean, it's not often that a fatal four way turns into something, and I'm just sitting up here, or I can watch this match again. It just seems like it's too much going on. But then again, some kind of way NXT managed to entertain me with a 6-man ladder match a year ago this time. So
Right.
I can't
Right.
say never, but goddamn, I mean, fuck, I don't know. I'm gonna have to
We shall
watch this.
see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this. Let's get to the main event. Now, clearly, the one thing we can't dispute, the last match to go on is most definitely gonna be this one. It's been a long time coming for both of these guys. To me, long
Yes.
time coming. Uh, Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, NXT title, 2 out of 3 falls. I mean, it is. You want to talk about stuff falling into place,
Right.
and it almost sucks to say this, but if Ciampa never hurts his neck, you probably never get this. Now, I'm not gonna lie. What breaks my heart is I felt like the conclusion of Ciampa Gargano came too soon. I wanted it to be a takeover. I wanted it to be a takeover, and that would have been the end of a year-long feud between two friends.
Right.
But with
The
the entry,
culmination of it all.
right, of all the street fight, the unsanctioned match, the last man standing match, the all of that, everything, it all would have culminated. It hurts my heart that that's not what I'm seeing, but I mean, this is almost just as good. I think it's
Just as
past
good.
time.
I
It's
mean,
past time.
I was good with the match itself. Just Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. That's who I was rooting for. As soon as they said Ciampa was hurt, I was like, Adam Cole. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah,
Bring
it's time.
Adam Cole.
It's time. He's been a second tier guy for a while. He's so good. But and the crazy thing is, if you think about it, Gargano and Ciampa to me were headed for the same fate as Black and Ricochet. They looked like they were about to turn them back into DIY.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, it's crazy how this has worked out. But I wanted that, and I won't get it, and I understand, but this is just as good. Um, it who who do you have?
I have Gargano finally, if you want to say capturing the boyhood dream, so finally getting to the top of the mountain, finally taking the sword out of the rock. Because he's been chasing that title for a long time. I think Gargano gets it, but
Adam Cole.
hmm?
I picked Adam Cole.
I mean they might throw a swerve, but I feel like Gargano is gonna get it. I mean, unless they follow through with that whole thing of calling him up, you know?
That's why I picked Adam Cole. That's exactly why I picked him. Because I can't see them putting the belt on him. If they do, they have to leave him down there, which I don't have a problem with that because you're talking about a guy who can put a match on with anybody. Anybody. He's already proved that. He can do it with anybody. So I wouldn't have an issue with that. But I think Adam Cole, they started the year pushing this year the Undisputed Era. I think this starts that.
Yeah. You know what? I would love for it to be the year of Undisputed Era. I would love for that shit to happen. That's what I've been hoping for. I actually think that they kind of, they gotten away from the Undisputed Era type of thing where, it seemed like Undisputed Era was running stuff. Now it seems like they watered it down a little bit or haven't been putting much time and effort into it. Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, they didn't win the tournament or nothing. So it's just like, we need something from the Undisputed Era.
Yeah. I think this might do it. And then in turn, again, we go back to if Matt Riddle wins the title, then you can maybe put Bobby Fish in there and see if they can go at. I'd like to see that. But I mean, I'm gonna tell you the reason I'm picking him because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be an Undisputed Era run in. I can't see them. They pull out all the stops to get this belt. This to me, this is a make or break for them in a sense. I feel like it is. It's like we gotta have this. So I feel like
Right.
you get a run in, and that's what wins him the match. I can't see Adam Cole not winning this right now. I just can't.
Oh no, I don't know. You know how Takeover is. They don't really have too many, run-ins like that. So I don't know. I do know that that's gonna be a damn good even matchup. Usually with certain things and certain matches and Takeover is kind of a little bit of a mix up, but it's a good matchup for these two.
Do you get a thriller like we had with, as far as the NXT title thriller like we had with Velveteen Dream and Ciampa? And do you think that Gargano keeps his title of Mr. Takeover in the same sense?
Yeah, I think that with Adam Cole's abilities and Johnny Gargano's ability to steal the show and always have standout moments at takeovers, I feel like you got a classic on your hands here. And I feel like they will not in any way, shape, or form underperform their duties. I feel like this does something great for both of them. I feel like they have something to prove, if that makes
Right,
sense. If you
right.
feel like
And I think they pull out all the stops, but I think Johnny Gargano, especially in matches like this, he will put on the performance of a lifetime,
yes,
and he still somehow manages to lose the match. I think
right.
he loses this one. I really do.
I see
And
where you're coming from. I don't feel like it'll be like Velveteen Dream and Ciampa because that was more of a real fight, and it was more of a build up. So you had that feeling of it
they
being
had
like a
even
war.
about to win that damn thing, man.
Oh
That
man.
match was awesome.
But see, that's what
Oh,
made it so good because the whole time you're like, oh, he definitely got him. He definitely got him.
when he hit the 3 leg drops in a row, I was like, yes, this is it. I mean, man, when you can get me off my feet, and maybe this does that. I'm gonna be honest. Adam Cole has had some great matches, but never one where I'm just that I've seen where I'm just like, damn, I'm out of my seat. Never one of those. I think he's in the ring with the right person, but I still go back
Right.
to what I said. You got a guy who can put on the performance of a lifetime almost
Yeah.
every single time, but he can't win big matches. It just doesn't happen. I refuse to buy it this time. And then I also look at it from this perspective. If he wins it and he's not called up, you lose that luster of big match Johnny
Right.
because then he's defending it all the time, and he's the champ or whatnot. Versus he's always chasing it. Although it would be nice to see him chase for a whole year and finally get it.
Right.
I don't know how I feel. Uh, I'm gonna be honest. I think this is the first NXT where, to me, every match on the card can go either way, and I wouldn't be upset.
But
Like
see,
I,
I
used
feel like that. I felt like that last NXT take. Well, except for with Velveteen, I really wanted Velveteen to win. Two what was that? Two takeovers back.
yeah, it's 2 takeovers back.
Yeah, I wanted Velveteen Dream to
That was
really win that.
you talking about when he fought Ciampa.
Right. But the last takeover, I didn't care who won. I was just enjoying it.
Yeah, man. I don't care either way, but I feel like there's a lot of repercussions and things like that you got to consider. I Johnny always does this to me. I believe in him. He goes out there. I'm like, there's no way. He surprised me when he won against Ricochet. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I mean Ricochet. I, with that one, I had a feeling because Ricochet had it for a while, and I I just felt like I thought they were gonna do Johnny versus like Matt Riddle or something. I didn't know
Yeah,
Velveteen was gonna
yeah.
come challenge for it. I thought he was gonna go straight back to the NXT Championship because that's what he just
That's what he should
had
have.
a
Yeah,
match. Yeah, he was
that's what
already
he
on
should
the
have. I
yeah.
get that either. They should have ran that back. That was one they should have tried again. I mean, that
That
match
deserved
was
a part
phenomenal.
two.
And it was so good that when I seen Aleister Black versus Ciampa, I didn't feel the same way. I
Yeah,
didn't feel the same way. I was like, good match, but it's not no Dream versus Ciampa. It's not the same thing. Great match, and it almost felt like Ciampa had to basically. It was like when he won it, he died out there a little bit. He
right.
limped to the back. He. Do you
Just
remember the part where he lost the shoe and he's fucking limping? And I'm like, fuck, man,
yeah,
he don't have nothing left. He
yeah,
hit it one more time. That's it. Like they had me believing the next move won. I hadn't felt like that, and then I seen Ricochet and Gargano, and I said the next move wins. Literally, the next move wins, and that's what happened.
wow, yeah. That see with that whole thing, man. I Ciampa's matches always had a great sense of drama. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? They
yeah,
always
true.
built you up. Just like even with his wars with Johnny Gargano, you was for sure. All right, Johnny's gonna win this. Johnny's gonna get it. Especially
The last man standing match is the best example of it.
absolutely.
When he chained them to that Titantron, I was like, this is it. He finally gets it. And he
Yeah.
hits it with the knee. And he fucking falls out. And I'm counting. And I'm like, Johnny, all you got to do is pop up. And I'm like, he's going to get up at the very last second. And fucking Ciampa wakes up and slides to his feet because Johnny can't stand and wins the fucking match. And it's just like, are you shitting me? What more do he have to do? The dude had like a fucking
That's why I picked Johnny to win because it's avoided him for so long.
uh, but Johnny always loses the big match. He tears the house down, but he always loses the big match. He's
I
always only big match he's won to me before the Ricochet match was the unsanctioned match at the Takeover almost a year ago when they had that Takeover match and he won via submission on Ciampa with the leg breaks. And even that match was like it was a last second high drama moment when they're both sitting there. Ciampa tries to hit him with the fucking knee brace, and he reverses it and uses a submission hold and wins the damn match to be reinstated. That was a great ending.
yeah. Yeah, it was. It was. I feel like this is gonna be a great ending too. I think this, and then it's 2 out of 3 falls, man. I, as if I wasn't excited about the match enough. 2 out of 3 falls made me even more excited. You know what these dudes can do with 2 out of 3
Well,
falls.
Falls, yeah, I know. I think this is a 30-minute match easily. I mean, but again, I still think there is an undisputed era run in. My question is, if there is, who comes to Gargano's aid? Because I don't see anybody right now that makes logical sense to me.
I don't see either. That's part of the reason why I'm hoping there's not a run in.
It has to be because they ran in last year at the conclusion of the tournament to win the NXT titles. You don't remember how that ended up?
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. I definitely remember what you're talking about. But it was just ruining it for me. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a great 2 out of 3 falls match, and then have a run in from the Undisputed Era. It would kind of piss me off.
It's been fucking hinted at though. And what kind of heel faction would it be if there's not a run in?
That's true. That is true. But a run
Every
in
heel
like
faction has a run in. Hell, how many times did the fucking corporation run in the Rock's matches when he was?
my damn, every match.
Yeah, exactly. Or you had a DX run in during the McMahon Helmsley regime, or Vince McMahon run in during that regime. Or there's always been a heel run in. It just happens. It's got to happen. There's not a point of a heel faction if you don't have it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I would love for it to be just a clean
You want him to go, if he gonna win it clean. I get
win. Maybe they run in the middle of the match, kind of like what most people do.
Yeah. But how many times have you seen Adam Cole win something just clean?
That well, he won that ladder match clean.
I'll give it to you, but I mean, something like this, I would think that's why he has the Undisputed Era.
Right.
You know, I'd be disappointed if there wasn't a run in, but then again, I wouldn't be opposed to if there was not. I just feel like fuck. I don't know. I'm so conflicted. I'm confused. I want it to be Friday already, so that
But see, that's good wrestling. When you can't really you can't really predict it, and you got all these different avenues you can go down with your prediction. That's good wrestling. That's good damn wrestling.
It's great wrestling, and again, I don't think I've been this excited for a takeover in a long time. Not that the previous ones were bad, but this one has the potential to be the best one I've seen. And I feel like a tape recorder because I say this every time there is one. But I mean, there's so much intrigue here and so many possibilities. I'm like, okay, well, what's gonna happen here? I
Right.
need to, you know, I mean, I'm excited all the way around. I all the way around. I can't wait to review Takeover or whatnot afterward to kind of talk about what's next, what happens that night, because I'm sure it's gonna be some groundbreaking stuff.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, this is what it's all about. This is the standard to me. I wish that the main roster filled me with as much excitement and anticipation. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love WrestleMania. I've been watching it since I was a kid, but now when it comes around, I'm just kind of like, okay, there's 1 or 2, maybe 3 matches I want to see, and I'm good. I can kind of peruse the rest. I don't feel like that from start to finish. I want to watch the takeover. So I mean, man, that's our predictions.
Yeah.
We'll see how true or how off or inaccurate we are. Again, we're looking.
I feel like we're prophetic. Well, actually,
yeah.
this is the first line of predictions that we didn't have the same prediction for all of them.
That's
So
true.
it's even more interesting.
That is true. That's true. We had a few, but most of them we kind of were, in disagreement on for whatever reason, and I'm okay with that. But I mean, again, we'll be reviewing what we came up with and how right or wrong we were. We'll also be doing a WrestleMania preview and a WrestleMania review, if it ever goes off. I mean,
Oh my gosh, that's just
yeah,
so fucking long.
yeah.
Why?
We're getting 5 matches at Takeover and 25 matches at Mania. So we'll probably be watching that from now to the end of
And
eternity.
23 of them we don't want to fucking see.
That's pretty true. Shit.
Well,
Don't get me
we'll
started. I don't
talk
want.
about that on our prediction.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin the episode. that this is a great episode that I like. I don't want to ruin it. Talking
That
about
that episode is gonna be like 2.5 fucking hours.
yeah. So we'll be coming with that one, folks, before Mania. So look out for that. Hopefully you enjoy this one. Please feel free to like and comment. Tell us what you think. We'd love to hear from you, either on Twitter or on the YouTube channel. We're also on Anchor. Don't forget about that. Um,
And
again,
Instagram.
and Instagram. That's right. Thanks. I always forget the Instagram. I don't know why, but yeah, I'm not a
That's
social
because Twitter is so damn awesome to us. We
yeah,
we
a
we
lot of
engage a lot more with Twitter because we get to talk directly to our people.
yeah, definitely. We love talking to people, and we'll be doing some shout outs too on the Mania preview.
Yes.
So be on the lookout for that. If you want us to shout you out, please let us know. We'll definitely do that. But I mean, again, it's a WrestleMania week, folks. And for those of you who are there, you are so lucky. For those of you like us who won't be, hey, it's all good. It's Mania week.
It's good.
What?
We get to take a break from watching Mania, during the whole 8 hours. We get to get to cook some food and stuff. We don't have to sit in the
Yep.
damn stadium.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is definitely true. But again, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we, as much as we've enjoyed talking about it and bringing it to you, we always love talking wrestling. And again, happy takeover, and this has been another great wrestling
Yes.
talk episode of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. Thank you, and we are out.